Do you have faith that they can go on the road win a playoff game? Like, is that something you think that could actually happen?
So, see, I think you have to rephrase that question, right? The question, if they're at the 2 seed, it's not about do I have faith if they have to go on the road and win a playoff game.
To go to Arrowhead.
The question becomes, well, who knows? The Chargers might be able to go into – somebody can go into Kansas City and beat them, right? Mm-hmm. The question would be, do I have faith that they can win an AFC championship game on the road? That's different than a divisional playoff game, a wild card, because every time you get into the playoffs, like wild card weekend, it jumps up. Divisional weekend, AFC champion, like the pressure, everything involved in that game it goes to a whole nother level. So when you say, can they win an AFC championship game in Kansas City, one game, I think they can. Reason being, because the AFC championship game is a completely different animal than a regular season game, than a wild card weekend game, than a divisional game. It's just a completely different animal. And when you have a Brady and you have a Belichick and you have a lot of guys that have been in that position before, they understand that, and hopefully all it takes is one game. They know it's 60 minutes. Whereas the Kansas City Chiefs, they've never been in that situation. Patrick Mahomes hasn't been in an AFC championship game. None of those guys. Andy Reid has been in some NFC championship games and a Super Bowl, but his players have not been there. And so I think one game, yes, they would be able to, if they put everything together, they would be able to win an AFC championship game on the road. That's how you should ask the question. Can the Pats win an AFC championship game on the road?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I think they could do it. I think they could do anything. And I also think Patrick Mahomes definitely has that sort of playoff choker potential. I think he might end up being like Manning was against you guys all those years when you'd have these great regular seasons and crap his pants in the playoffs. I have a funny feeling about Mahomes with that. But even still, I mean, this team on the road has just been terrible. They've been awful.
They have. But if I had to say to you, if I said to you, Christian, there you go. You got your life savings. Right?
That's not very much.
Well, whatever it is, it's your life savings. Yep. You put your life or your life savings on the line. AFC championship game, the Patriots got to play on the road. It's one game. Are you betting with them or are you betting against them?
I'd probably bet with them. I mean, listen, I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I thought they were going to win out. I had them at the beginning of the year beating the Saints in the Super Bowl, which I still think could happen. But I don't know. I mean, you got to admit this is a different year. Like things are different this year.
It is a different year, but it just if you were to ask somebody that, right? If you were to ask somebody this Patriots team this year, and we're talking about an AFC championship game, because that's what the biggest discussion here is. Because if it looks like they get the 2 seed, they're gonna if everything goes according to plan, they're gonna have to go probably to KC. Now, and that's what it's going to come down to. Can they beat Kansas City in an AFC championship game? And I think they can, and I would bet on them only because, you know how they weigh everything and bet in home field, who's not playing. To me, that's a big part of when you factor in betting on this team is they have a ton of guys that have been in that AFC championship before, have been in that situation before, and understand what it takes mentally, even though they've been playing like shit all year on the road. When you're talking about that game, it's completely different. I remember when I was in Carolina and we were getting ready to play the Rams in the NFC championship game. And I remember John Fox, he had myself and Ricky Prohl talk about the importance or just talk about what it meant to play in an NFC championship type of game. Mm-hmm. And we were the only ones that had that type of experience. So what you try to do, that's what Kansas City is a team that you're going to have to ask a couple of guys, if they even have guys on their roster, to talk about what it's like versus the Patriots, who have been there multiple times, and those players have been there multiple times. So to me, you have to factor that in. And I've always been, I've been around this game a long time and been involved in AFC championships, NFC championships. And it comes down to quarterback and coaches at the end of those games. And I would put my money on Belichick and Brady before I put it on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.